trying to remember where we left off. I think we had a pretty successful contract that we did on this planet, but I think I was just planning to do one because it was the only one that I felt like was appropriate. The other one I had thought about doing, I think, was a pirate contract, perhaps. Yeah, this one's too difficult. It's the right mission type, but too difficult. I'm definitely not going to do that one. Yeah. I think we maybe move on from this planet. Let's just double check the store. Make sure we're not missing out on anything. So Cicada, don't really care about that. Phoenix Hawk, we don't have any parts for. We have only one of these Vulcan parts, so buying one isn't going to really make much difference. And we don't have any of the Warhammers. So, yeah, I think we move on. The question is, where do we move on to? Alright, so I would like to get to this contract, but we're running out of time to do so. 68 days. How long would it take? 49 days. So I might be able to get away with one more jump somewhere, although I don't know that 100% for sure. I don't know if this contract's going to pay all that well. Now, before I do that, I should probably check other flashpoints that might be around, because this one showed up in the interim. Looks like we just have the same 3 that we've had. This one has no time limit on it, so we can do it at any time. That might be my next priority, because this is only a 2 skull. It's a Draconis Combine hiring us, and if we're going to ally with House Davian, there actually may be a time limit on doing this. So there's a weight limit, but it's heavy, so that, you know, we're not even there yet. That makes me question a little bit the 2 skull designation. If they're giving us a heavy drop weight, I've definitely not done this contract, so I don't know what to expect. But again, there's no time limit on it, so there's no point in traveling out of our way. All right, well, let's just go through the list. Probably don't want to do half skull missions. We probably want to have 1 skull or higher. More than likely, 1.5 skull would be more the low end that I'd be looking for. That kind of takes us out of the way. What is this planet? So it's got a black market. Unfortunately, it looks like it's a desert planet. It's a Mars climate, which I think is actually worse than a desert planet. Actually, I forgot about that biome. In any case, black market, low gravity planet, Martian world, mining, moons, periphery level civilization, token population, and it's a travel hub. So token population means that there will be no pilots to hire, if it, like maybe one, but very few, if any. A travel hub may mean that there is stuff to buy here. The black market, we don't have access to the black market, but at least it would be there. Alright, well, that's a possibility. It is in the Arana Restoration territory, which I don't care one way or the other. Let's see a 2 scholar, see if there's any along the way. We've got quite a few choices in compelling space. So we got here. This is a desert planet, so I prefer to avoid it if we can. High gravity planet, mining, moons, ruins, token population, uninhabited. Well, uninhabited really tells us going on there. Bryn, I mean, that one's a little bit arguably not on the path we're looking for, but this is this is going to be a oh, it's arid. Okay, so that's going to tend towards desert, but not necessarily. So agriculture, arid world, chemicals, large population, medium gravity planet, moons, periphery level civilization, and rich. Okay. What about over here? This is kind of on our path. The real risk of taking a 2 skull system is that there may be contracts that are too difficult for us. So if we get unlucky with the rolls, biome filter probably just tells us, you know, we want to be looking specifically for a particular biome, and we could do that, like glacier, tundra. For me, though, I can't select more than one. And I'm alright with going on the difficulty and just figuring out what biome it is. But yeah, it looks like we could do both. So this would hit our... So Zanzibar sounds like it might be a good place. We also have Tundra, which is eerie here. I'm curious though, does it hit more than one? Like if we go Terran, yeah, see, so that tells you the possibilities of what biomes you could find there. So this rocky planet, so this one also has urban. So it could have glacier, it could have tundra, no, it can't have tundra, but it can have urban, no jungle. Any desert there? Desert could be in both places. Yeah, see, I'm not sure how helpful that is. It does give you an idea of the range that you're going to expect on that planet, but... Okay, so in any case, low gravity planet mining, rocky world, ruins, token population uninhabited. So none of that really sounds all that attractive. Let's see Zanzibar. So arid world, black market, inner sphere level civilization, which is a good thing. Large population, manufacturing, medium gravity planet, mega city, and it has moons. So the moons is going to give us more variety of the biomes. And moons can really be anything. They could be any biome. So Zanzibar sounds a little bit better, but we are having to jump through this system, the system of Alexandria, to get there. 32 days. Oh, that's a very long... That would probably knock us out of going to Electra and doing this flashpoint. How far is this one? 25 days? Yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard to tell with these jump paths, like what's going to be the short path, because, like, for example, this is 32 days. That's 35 days. Seemingly looks a lot further, but just the way that the jump path is and everything, this is actually close. This is actually less time. So... That's one of the things that oftentimes it can be tricky. You think you're going in the right direction, but you're kind of not from a time perspective. Just because of the distance to stars, what the kind of like how the jump stuff works. Because sometimes you get off of the jump point and then you take your own ship and you fly there for a decent distance. Then you really oftentimes don't know how far away the system is from the jump point, other than just going, I want to jump here, and then seeing that it's a longer path or longer duration than you would think. So that could very well be the reason. I mean, we could just jump straight here and not have to worry about it, because I feel like if we mess around too much, we may run into that problem. Because it takes us 49 days to get here. The only thing I'm really worried about is I don't know if we're going to be getting much pay out of this one, and we might be really tight. Also, I don't have very many mechs to do a 2.5 skull mission. That's probably too difficult for us. I mean, it's possible. I can do it, but... I say we go to Zanzibar and we just see what happens. If it doesn't work out, well, we can always figure something else out. So what's the overall biome here? Arid. Okay. I don't think that's necessarily a bad biome. It could be desert. I mean, we saw that was a possibility, but it could be glacier as well. It could be urban. So there's definitely choices here. This one has more varied climate. Also, those moons are going to open up possibilities as well. That might be the reason why we had some of those biomes. All right, yeah, I say we jump here. If it turns out we run out of time, we run out of time. This flashpoint will come back later anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay, let's go ahead and travel. Oh, no. Wait, hold on. We know we're going to go to Zanzibar, so what we need to do is we need to make sure we do our work beforehand. So the big thing here is just a trebuchet. Everything else is already set up and ready to go. But the trebuchet is not. We definitely want to set it up. Pretty cool paint scheme. What else we got? 5, 6. A lot of this mech stays gray regardless of paint scheme. Kind of like that one too, but I'm going to go with 4. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the refit. Alright. So the important thing is, this is going to be our first real support mech. The LRM-15 with the +2 damage is going to be amazing. this is a really good find. The amount of damage that this will do, I mean, this is now doing more damage than an LRM-20. A stock LRM-20. So you get more damage, less weight, pretty much. So this is very valuable. So here we have to choose. Do we put it in torso section and have it be more protected? Or do we put it in the arm and have it have better accuracy? Because this is such a rare find, I'm going to go with the torso section. I think protecting that is probably going to be more important. I am also going to take the +1 stability damage on the LRM-15. So it's going to do 3 stability damage per hit as opposed to 2. So in total, we'll be doing, what, 45 stability. That's pretty damn good. Okay. We also have to get ammo for this. So let's just go ahead and get some LRM ammo. I would like 3 tons. I think 2 is the standard. We're going to go with 3 tons. I'm going to do the meta thing and put it in the legs. You know what? I'm going to put 1 slot in with this. That way, if we lose a leg, we're not going to dump a ton of ammo. And then a couple medium lasers and call it a day. Because the standard loadout of this thing is 3 medium lasers, 2 LRM-15s, 2 tons of ammo. So we delete 1 medium laser, we get an extra ton of ammo for an increased endurance, because this mech runs out of ammo real fast if you don't give it that endurance. That will help it a little bit with heat efficiency. This is not necessarily a very heat efficient mech. I'm not going to put special medium lasers in this thing because the medium lasers are not its primary source of attacking. I'm gonna go ahead and put the medium lasers over in this arm. That way we're not putting all our eggs in one basket. We've got one arm having an LRM-15, we have the other arm having the medium lasers, and then we have the torso section having the LRM-15. We're not focusing that stuff in anywhere. All right. Pretty good. The heat efficiency is bad, but as long as we're not firing those medium lasers, it'll be fine. I mean, if I stripped out the medium lasers, you'd see the heat efficiency be generally pretty good. This does 14 heat. We can sink 30 heat naturally, so the 2 LRM-15s firing together will not generate any extra heat. Only when we fire the medium lasers will be a problem, and then we'll generate quite a bit more heat than handle. But that, again, hopefully that's not going to be a common occurrence with this mech. This is not a frontline mech. This is meant to be a support mech. It's supposed to be, you know, attacking from more or less behind the front line, as it were. Okay, let's go ahead and confirm. This is going to take 6 days, so that's going to be fairly quick. I don't think there's any other work we need to do. I will double check that with component. Oh, you know what? I messed up. Stop work. We'll get our money refunded. I messed up. There's one thing I want to add on to this guy. That's in a piece of equipment. The question is, which piece of equipment do we go with? As far as the, it's going to be a cockpit mod. So this one gives us +2 injury resistance. I'm not sure what we want to do. So right now, the Enforcer has a cockpit mod that gives us +2. The Phoenix Hawk has a cockpit mod that gives us +3. So we do not have anything worse than that. I don't think we have any cockpit mods anywhere else. I could double check that. If we do, we'd probably want to rip it out. Maybe the fire starter? No. Okay. So Trebuchet probably get one of those cockpit mods. It's not going to be as important because it is in the second line. I mean, honestly, the fire starter might be the better call for that one. Yeah, probably. So the trick that I have is knowing which fire starter is which. Because they both have the same loadout. I just have 2 of them in case one gets damaged. I guess we'll make this one our primary one, and we'll stick that cockpit mod in there. So it's possible I won't actually do anything with that trebuchet, but I just wanted to make sure. We also want to have this gyro, but I guess I can fit it. We want the fire starter to be hard to hit. I can give them different names, but that stuff doesn't show up on the deployment screen. At least I'm pretty sure it doesn't. We could confirm that. So you name it. Call it the fire starter. This is just a test. So A1 for this one. Okay, so we're going to go with the gyro mod that's the best. Oh, it's fairly large. Okay. No, that's not going to happen then. Let me redo that. Because if you move stuff around too much, the game, like, more or less penalizes you for that. Alright, so there's no way I'm fitting this gyro mod in because I'd have to strip out one of the small lasers and that would reduce our firepower too much. So, oh, and we also have to rename it. Well, this one I don't need to rename it because I could just look at the cockpit mod and I would know which one's which. But just for the sake of argument, I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this, but if I'm not, then hey, it's a good lesson. So yeah, we're just gonna do the 1-day thing, just putting a cockpit mod in, not a big deal.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
All right. So we've already done the cockpit mod. The Phoenix Hawk, does it have anything in that center torso? It has a single heat sink. It's a double heat sink though, so it might take up a decent amount of room. But we could probably move it. Let's take a look at it. We're definitely going to want to put that in some of our mechs. Oh yeah, that double heat sink takes up a lot of space. That's the same amount of space we need for that gyro mod. Okay. Well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move one heatsink over this way, and this heatsink over that way. Actually, I don't like that. Let me redo that. Reason why I want to switch it. Shit. I'm confusing myself now. I don't know where that heatsink went. Okay. This over here. This over here. Now, the reason I did that is because our weapons are a little heavier on this side. So if that side gets messed up, I'm sorry. Maybe that doesn't make sense. I'm really confusing myself here. Yeah, okay. Whatever. It doesn't matter in the end, but okay, now the gyro mod. So +2 hit defense, so it'll make us harder to hit. That's, you know, that's pretty good. I would like to do that in the Firestarter, but I can't. I would have to strip out weapons. So, okay. This is going to take 2 days because I moved a lot of things around.
On it.
Which is why you want to kind of avoid that if you can. If you want to save time, don't do a lot of moving things around. It's not a big deal for me because I've got plenty of time here, but. Okay. So we have one gyro mod that we have not used. Not a whole lot in the center torso of the Enforcer. And I think at this point, the Enforcer is more likely going to be my frontline mech. And the Vindicator is going to be kind of a backup mech, at least for the interim. So the Enforcer doesn't do... It does the same amount of damage, so it's not really lost there. But one thing you have to consider is that damage, some of that is a small laser, which we very infrequently use. So in theory, the Vindicator does do more damage routinely, but oh well. I'm gonna go ahead and refit this. Actually, the question is, which has better armor? 880 versus 840. Okay, well, that answered our question. We could strip out the small laser and give it more armor, too, if we really want this to be our frontline mech. As we discussed, we don't really use that small laser all that often. Yeah, so this is gonna go ahead and get that gyro mod, because I don't really know where else to put it. And as I said, I could strip out small laser and get a half-ton worth of armor. We're almost maxed out with our armor, though, so it's probably not worth it. We could get a lot of armor on our center torso, would be the main thing that I'd be doing here. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I mean, we have decent enough armor, and it is what it is. So let's go ahead and confirm that.
Logged and...
Alright, that should be all our changes now. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't, like, using something... Okay. Well, we already know what to do with this. So, +2 damage there. 1 stability damage there. The ammunition. Going to did leg, or so. Lasers. 1. Okay, that does it. Let's go ahead and confirm. So there shouldn't be any other special equipment that I can assign here. All this stuff weighs something. Actually, that's not true. This arm mod weighs nothing. Well, it only does extra stability damage, so I'm not going to use it yet, but we'll keep that in mind for the future. But most of the rest of these are going to weigh something, so... Alright. There we go. That's all the work we want to do. It shouldn't take too long, and we only got 10 days on the schedule, but... Let's just go ahead and move on. Star map. So we're going to go over to Zanzibar. We already have the course laid in. Go ahead and travel. All right, set course.
Roger that, Commander. Course plotted.
Now this may be a colossal mistake. I may run out of time to do what I need to do, but we need to start doing more difficult missions if we want to get medium mechs and things. So I feel like we're at a point where we really have no choice. If we keep doing easier missions, we're just going to keep getting light mechs and we're not going to advance as a company. Maybe we get money and through that I could buy mechs, but buying mechs is really expensive. Salvaging them, well, you more or less get them for free as long as you do the mission, right? I mean, nothing's really truly free, but... Alright, minor infraction. An argument draws you into the mess hall. Brunswick starts toward you, red-faced and scowling. Commander, I hate to bother you with this, but Triceratops, so we've got our two troublemakers, is slacking off again. We're supposed to share garbage detail, but she... Share? You want me to share? Commander, this asshole is the reason we're on cleanup duty in the first place. He acts like he's my boss. Just last week, he filed 24 complaints with the XO and got us both put on garbage detail. And he did it over nothing. An infraction is an infraction, Brunswick sneers. If you stop messing up, I'll stop reporting you. Now that's coming from Brunswick, that's kind of funny. Okay, so I mean, frankly, they're both being kind of assholes here. Brunswick is causing trouble by filing all these complaints. And Triceratops is causing trouble by not doing the assigned duty given to her. So, in my opinion, they both should be disciplined. I don't know if that's the right choice, but that's what my gut says. I think picking one over the other is kind of ludicrous. I mean, we've already given Triceratops a lot of reign with her murals and what have you. Although very artistic and nice, we kind of gave her a lot of leash there. So I say we address both MechWarrior's shortcomings. They both are at fault and they both need to get their shit together. So let's go for it. And that resulted in low spirits for both of them. It really won't matter though, because in 15 days, we won't be at our destination in 15 days. 23 days, so this will burn off. But anyway, we'll read it. Raising your hand, you silence the MechWarriors. You're both about to lose a paycheck. The XO put you on garbage detail together for a reason. He figured you two would be forced to talk it out and resolve whatever is going on. But apparently, you'd rather bicker like children. You heard the commander. Brunswick shoves a broom at Triceratops. Get it together. Bristling, Triceratops pushes back. I've got nothing left to say to him. Brunswick isn't listening. He's waiting for me to misstep so he can report me to the XO. That's enough. You raise your voice and the MechWarriors shrink back. I've got a half a mind to lock you in a storage closet until you both shape up. MechWarriors grow silent, refusing to look at one another, but slowly they return to garbage detail. When you check on them throughout the week, you can feel the hostility in their eyes, the frosty ambivalence of their brief exchanges. The MechWarriors get their work done without further incident, but their tension remains. Well, again, what was the right course there? You pick a side, one of them gets pissed, you do nothing and just let them slug it out. I mean, there's no right answer there. They're gonna hate each other. They're gonna hate each other. I guess we need to, you know, do a fight club, right? Let them fist fight it out.
That work order you submitted is complete.
All right, we're all done with that,
Boss,
and we're done
we
with
just
that.
completed those upgrades.
We will have a financial report in 9 days. It shouldn't be too bad, though. Go ahead and take a look at the ship upgrades. So we just finished a training module, which should give us some good work there. Because we have these cockpit mods on most of the mechs that we're using, I don't know if we're going to really mess with the medbay too much. Probably focus on morale here. So we've got a gymnasium, that's cost $225. We've got a hydroponic garden, that's a little bit more expensive, twice as much. Library, okay. And then the upgraded lounge. I'd say we go with library first, gymnasium next, perhaps, or actually gymnasium. We'll go gymnasium. These guys are cooped up on a ship for long periods of time. We need to get their stinky sweat all over that smell all over the ship, right? That's the best. That's the best thing to do.
Sure thing. It'll take a bit, but we'll get it done.
All right, let's go ahead and continue. It's also good to do a lot of those because they do come up in some of these events. If you have a library, sometimes that comes up. The lounge, I think, is the one that comes up the most often, and it's the one you get built first, but those things do come up. That's why I recommend them. Sometimes prioritize them. Because I always like to get the best outcomes of all of these events. If at all possible. Alright, here comes our financial report. So again, we're going to continue with generous. Costs us some money, but in the long run, it gets our morale up. Once you get to a certain point with the morale, you can stop doing that, but getting your morale maxed out is usually generally a good idea, and it maxes out at 50, if I remember correctly, so we still have a ways to go with that. Alright, let's keep going. We'll get our ship upgrade done. And the good thing about the training module is that the pilots that don't have as much experience, they're accruing experience every day that we're traveling. So it does help on the lower end. I think many of our pilots are probably too experienced to really get a lot of benefit from that, but at the very least, Yellow Jacket should be getting some experience. So if it ever comes down to us needing her, then we're solid. But the other thing, now that we have put that many cockpit mods in our mechs, as long as we can keep our frontline mechs up and running, we shouldn't have as many problems with our pilots. So I probably would just be running with A teams for the most part and just try and get those guys as experienced as we can, get them up to lead status. I feel like our secondary pilots are skilled enough now that we're not going to have like a massive drop off. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and just do that other upgrade, which is going to be the library. It was also, you know, fairly cheap. It's also quick to complete, so we may get it done in time. I'm not exactly sure how many days we have left. No, we will not, but it's close. If ever we have to do repairs or something, we'll probably get it done. Okay. Now the question that's on my mind is, can we make it to that flashpoint now? Because this was a pretty long trip, and we don't have that many more days.
Looks like we've arrived.
I think we have 37 days, so I will visit the store first, just because. Okay. So we do have full-on mechs that we can buy here. Several full-on mechs. Many of them very good mechs. Particularly the Kintaro. It's outside what we can afford right now, but we do have a Dragon 1N. We can buy one of those right now. Let's see what else is available, though, because this is going to be fairly expensive. We've got a Yager mech. Any parts of a Kintaro? We have 2 parts. There's 2 parts here. We wouldn't be able to get a full mech together. A Dragon is going to be good for us. Panther. Okay. Couple cockpit mods. Comm system with 3 pluses. A +4 resolve game. That's pretty good. Okay. Exchanger. Low-level exchanger. Exchangers could be good, though. They're very heavy, though. Ooh. This is new. Orders of single-use artillery pieces that can be mounted on the side torso of any mech. Functioning like a massive grenade when fired, orders can deal substantial damage to all units within the target area. Only a single artillery piece may be mounted on any mech. 7 tons for a single shot. Very expensive. Rangefinder is generally pretty good. So no weapon systems here, just a lot of equipment. I don't see a reason why not to buy that Dragon now. Outside of the fact that we'd have to send one of our mechs down. Question is, which mech would we send down? Yeah, see, well, again, we'll confirm that, but like here, you don't really get to see this. I mean, obviously when you click on it, you see the A1, but All right, let's see. Probably the Commando 1B. Because these other mechs, I think, are better. And we've got the Javelin, we've got the 2 Jenners, 2 Firestarters, a couple Panthers. Commando 1B is the one we send down. So I'll go ahead and just send that down now. We'll probably just sell it, get our money back. Alright, let's go back to the store. Alright, so buy the Dragon piece, which gives us a full Dragon, which is our first heavy mech. It's funny that we're getting heavy mechs before we're getting very many medium mechs, but... hey, it'll help. It'll help us be able to achieve success with some of these. This would probably be our new frontline mech, replacing the Forcer. As a matter of fact, we'll probably strip some of the weapon systems out of that Forcer. So we got 2 ballistic weapons, 2 energy weapons, 2 missile weapons, 2 support weapons. So this mech is pretty well rounded for what it is. It's got good speed for its weight. All right, go ahead and buy that.
New equipment available.
All right. Let's go ahead and I want to take a real quick peek at what components we already have. I think I bought 2 of those LBX autocannons, the AC-5s, but I don't know that for sure. I might not have been able to. Yeah, there it is. We do have 2 of these. So what I might do, depending on what our tonnage looks like, is I might put 2 of these guys in that Dragon. It may not be very weight efficient though, because this thing does weigh 8 tons. Do I have the heavy thrusters? So the way the thrusters work, the jump jets. I'm not sure if it says here, but it should be up to 65 tons. I'm sorry, 55 tons. All right, my mistake. So yeah, I would need the heavy ones. You don't really need it for a frontline mech. Mostly, I'm good with these guys having jump jets because of the how slow they are. Dragons are faster on the ground. Obviously, jump jets are always good to have, but with the Dragon, it's probably not going to be in the cards. But in any case, let's go ahead and get on to the contracts. I think we've messed around here enough. See what we're going to be doing, and then we'll give our mech warriors experience if they need it. Here's where we hope that we got a good, decent number of contracts. I also want to take a look at that star map, see if we have enough time to get to that flashpoint. Because that will be important. Like, if we get damage, we may not want to stick around. So you've got an assassinate mission, 1.5 skull in the desert. That one might be okay to do, though, because of its a lower difficulty. We have a 2.5 skull in an urban environment. It's battle, so that's something we'd be looking for. We've got ambush convoy, again, in the urban environment. I don't know if I've ever done a convoy mission in the urban environment. I probably have, I just don't remember. 2.5 skull battle urban. So we've got 2 of these guys. Battle polar. Okay. For a moneymaker, that might not be bad. So you have 2 assassinates in, like, desert climates, and they're 1.5 skull. Now, the reason why I usually, like, prefer assassinate, because the assassinate target usually is generally a heavier mech for that difficulty, so this is very likely a medium mech. So if we're looking to get more medium mechs, then this is a perfect mission for us. These 2 are perfect missions for us. They also pay decently enough. Who are we fighting? Fighting the Davian. We technically wouldn't want very many Davian. Yeah, these are all against House Davian here. There's one that's for House Davian, but this one's against pirates, I think. Yeah, pirate organization. But this one, also pirate. So the 2 battle missions are against pirates. But this is against the Federated Sons. Wanted criminal. Pirate aligned. Alright, so we'll do the pirate one first. The assassinate against pirates. We're already pissed off the pirates, so we might as well just keep going along that path. Alright, so now that we know what we're doing, let's get our mech warriors ready. We're going to stick with... this one we could probably get away with our B team if we really wanted to get them more experience. Like, for example, Crackshot, we still need some experience, so I might use her instead of Leo. Okay. Drake is our other one. Yeah, I think we do this because Drake would be able to afford this ability. Crackshot would be able to afford this ability. And we get 2 backup pilots with 3 abilities. What else do we have? Triceratops already has 3 abilities, so we don't really need to use her unless we just want to buff her abilities in general. And then Truck.
Right here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Truck is not going to be quite good enough here, but we're getting close. All right, I'm going to use my backup pilots for these 1.5 skull missions because I feel like it's not that hard of a mission.
Yes, Commander. I'm listening.
So we're going to use Truck, Drake, Crackshot. We could use Triceratops to give her a little bit of experience, but as I said, she is at that point where she already has 3 abilities. Main thing I'd probably focus on is her gunnery skill. I'd like to get that up to maybe a 5. Alright, well, let's take a look at it. We'll figure out what we're doing here in a second. I mean, I guess I can afford to give myself experience because it doesn't really affect anything. So give me some gunnery skill.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Leo. We probably want to keep going tactics with him, so just wait on him. Brunswick, we're definitely not going to use, so I think we don't level him up at all. Yeah, there's nothing obvious for him to take either. And then Legend.
Awaiting orders.
You already have your cold shot bonus. We might want to save for her to get even more overheat threshold on her. So, yeah, I might do that. Okay, well, in any case, let's go ahead and do the contract. Alright, so dead or alive, negotiate. 1.7 is the salvage, and then 324 for the money. I think we just go 50-50 on this one. I don't feel like pushing the salvage too far. I'd rather have the money. If it is a heavier mech that the assassinate target is, we might be able to get 1 part, so that's going to be our 1. Alright, let's go ahead and accept the contract here. Okay, so the trebuchet is now up and ready to go. Leo's going to be out, though, even though he would very well be well suited for this mech. I mean, that's really what we've been waiting for, is that mech for him. But in this case, Crackshot needs to get that ability to... So when Leo gets knocked out, it's not that big of a deal. And then Drake is going to come and take the place. We use the Enforcer in place of the Vindicator. Kind of determine that. Yeah, so Truck is going to be in place of Brunswick, but we're not going to be using the Firestarter. So yeah, so this may prove that. Okay, there's the A1. So it does show that here. It just doesn't show it in the thing. But in the future, we would be using that Firestarter. But we're not going to be using Firestarters. We're going to be using Jenners. So... When did I put a medium pulse laser in this thing? That was a mistake. That will be rectified right now. That was a mistake. I accidentally did that. Now I know why, when I got all confused at why I had not the right amount of tonnage. I accidentally grabbed the medium pulse laser when it was supposed to be a medium laser. Now that happened a while ago, but I actually remember now, where I was like, wait, I thought Jenners had 5 jump jets as standard. It's because I accidentally picked up a medium pulse laser. I was just doing it quickly and I just didn't notice. Whoops. Okay. We need a standard medium laser. So this is going to be like time and money wasted, more or less, but... Oh well. And then we get a ton of armor. Play around with. A little confused though. I feel like the armor values were the same. Maybe they weren't. I don't know. Alright, well, we'll try and fix this. So, up to 55, up to 60. We'll go up to 65 in the legs. Go up to 75 in the center torso. I guess we can max out the arms. There we go. That'll do. Alright, confirm.
On it. I'll let you know when that's done.
I can't believe I made that mistake. Alright, well, let's go ahead and go back to the contracts here. All right, negotiate. We already determined what we were going to get paid. I have to redo everything I did here, though. So just move the Enforcer over that way, move the Trebuchet in. We're going to move Crack Shot in, Break in. We're going to move Truck in. We're going to replace the Fire Starter with the Jenner. And the last thing is, what is the last pilot we use? Because in theory, Triceratops already has her 3 abilities. This is, I think, what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with Triceratops here. Just give her a little bit of experience. We're not going to run the Phoenix Hawk, we're going to run the Vindicator. Because that's more suited to her skills. Okay, we're more or less ready to go. So for this battle, we're using 2 frontline pilots and 2 frontline mechs, as opposed to having an attacker. And this is something that we probably will commonly do, depending on the mission circumstances and also how our pilots are doing. If we have either the Phoenix Hawk gets messed up or our pilot gets hurt, in this case, this is going to be our kind of backup plan. And we have enough of these frontline pilots. I'd like one more, but we have enough of them that, you know, it's not that big of a deal. And Crackshot can always fill in to a certain extent for that role if we need to, but then obviously that would not give Leo any depth because we just have her. So I'd like to have at least one more frontline pilot if we can manage it. Okay, let's go ahead and deploy. I think I did everything right. I'm just double checking. Okay, we're good. I think the main problem, like when you were saying you can name the mech something different, that I remembered. So when you get a mech and it's beyond what you can hold, you have to pick something to go down into storage. If you name the mech, it doesn't show up. That name doesn't show up. So you cannot differentiate. If you have 2 fire starters and you'd like to send one down and you'd like to keep the other, but they're more or less... but not only can you not see what they're armed with, you can't see if you've changed the name either. So there's really not an easy way. You have to memorize where it is on the list, more or less. And it's not organized in a way that you can organize it too. That's one thing that maybe they should change, is you being able to swap around what bay a mech is in so that you can organize the mechs and know which mechs are which. But you can't do that. They are assigned to an empty slot when there's an empty slot. And once they fill that slot, they're in that slot until you put them down in storage or sell them. Or no, I guess you'd have to put them down in storage to sell them. So that's one of the things I wish they would change.
Command interface initiated.
Because there have been times I've been confused where I've been like, okay, I have one Commando 1B that I would like to put down in storage, and I have one that I wouldn't. Which one is which? You know, and I don't remember. We're only contracted for a single target here, but we both know it won't be that easy. The war criminal you're hunting won't be alone. It's a crab. Okay, I wouldn't mind a salvage of a crab. The company of pirate mercenaries that he is signed on with will attack you on sight. Good hunting, Commander. Olivia, you're out.
Here we go.
Now, for us, with the 5 parts to get a mech, that doesn't happen as often. All right, so we don't want to run the Trebuchet straight up. I'll get it behind this bridge here, so it's nice and protected. We'll use that indirect fire. Okay. Would like to move over to this wooded area. The enemy is fairly close to us, though, so we'll have to see how this goes down. I am recording simultaneously. I'm noticing a little bit of jitteriness. Hopefully,
Acknowledged.
it's not too bad. I'll keep an eye on the CPU usage, but this is the first time I'm doing this. This is for YouTube, so I don't have to download the VOD and lose quality and all that stuff. I'm trying to help out with that. So if you guys notice any real performance issues, let me know. But it should be okay from what we've seen of the test round. All right, I don't know if this is going to give us contact or not, but we'll at least attempt it.
I'm going.
Okay, we did not get contact. I mean, I really like where the Trebuchet is, but it may not be close enough to get a lot done. So, we'll have to see. For right now, what we want... we'll start with Drake here. Drake is going to go ahead and jump into the wood here. This rock is going to be kind of a problem for this wooded terrain, being able to do a whole lot. So, not sure how that's going to work for us. Then we go to Veritops here. He's going to do more or less the same thing. Actually, she needs to get closer, so I'm going to sprint with her. I need to move the Jenner first, though. The Jenner's kind of in the way.
I'm listening.
That is a super aggressive move. There's no real cover if I do any other move. Like, I have to get a sensor contact here, so there's no difference in evasion here to here. So I'm going to just go with this. We're probably going to not only have sensor contacts, but have actual direct vision, but that close.
Well, I picked up a blip.
Alright, so we have a Locust, a Spider, a Commando 1B, and then whatever this is that we don't know. Alright, so Crackshot, I'm going to actually have you walk over here. I'd eventually like you to get in the woods if I can. Now Triceratops is going to sprint. Yeah, that will get me further. Sprint into the wood.
Location confirmed.
My CPU usage isn't bad, but we'll just have to see. Okay, here comes one of the spiders. They do have half armor. I'm not surprised to see that attack at all. Alright. Out of these mechs, the Commander 1B does the most damage. So it's kind of a priority. The problem is I'm not going to be able to beat it to the punch. What I could do with Truck is to retreat and sensor lock one of these guys. Sadly, the jump jets don't get me very far, do they? Maybe just a normal walk? Yeah, I'm kind of out on the open here. Alright, well, we're going to reserve then, because it's not really a better move that I can take. Maybe this counts as wooded terrain? They're going to be able to hit me with the machine guns, maybe. It will burn through a good chunk of my evasion, probably. But we still had decent amounts, so going all right for now. Oh, they finally hit me. Well, they hit me with the machine guns early. With non-support weapons. Okay. So we have to evaluate. So the Commander 1B is going to be the easiest one to hit.
Yeah.
Oh, this is wooded terrain. All right. Go with the attack or sensor lock. I say we go with the attack. 50% chance to hit is still all right with me.
Confirmed.
All right, fire.
Here goes everything.
Okay, we got one hit. Oh, that's right. There's still the crab. Forgot about that. Oh, well, it missed.
I hear ya.
Alright, we're going to stay on that Commando 1B.
Coordinates received.
Alright, fire.
Right, Commander.
It hits.
When I shoot you, you'll take it and like it.
I don't know. It seems like the game is hitching up quite a bit here. But
Ready for orders.
as I thought, it's kind of tricky in this wood. Stay on the enemy. We could go with this, but the chances to hit are going to be bad because my vision is obstructed. Alright, so we'll pick a different target here. So what would be our secondary target? Except for the trebuchet move.
For orders.
Move into the wood. I'm definitely going to be targeting the commando. We have to get that commando within sensor range, or otherwise that attack is going to be very inaccurate. Oh, it's pretty much as inaccurate, huh? Can I get direct vision?
Receiving
I
you.
wish I had a better move here, but unless I move up really far, I'm going to have obstructed vision. Nah, these guys don't do all that much damage, so maybe we just take the risk here. And go for the better damage rather than
On the move.
mess around too much. Okay. Oh, he's dead.
Hostile removed. Standing by.
Alright, so we have to pick a target here. Unfortunately, these guys are all going to be very hard to hit. So I really don't know what the right call is here. I don't need to move so far forward if we pick like the spider, for example. Yeah, that's what we're going to go for.
Coordinates received.
Need these guys not to move so far. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to stop this recording because I feel like it's hurting the performance too much. I'm getting a lot of hitches. So, in theory, it's not running my CPU hard, but it could be running my graphics card pretty hard. I don't know if we've dropped frames or dropped below 60 frames a second, but I'm getting a lot of stutters. So, that experiment, unfortunately, I feel like has failed. I'm going to stop the recording and we'll see if the hitches continue, but I have a feeling that they're going to go away. So, let's go ahead and fire. Actually, let's precision strike this guy. Frankly, it's kind of still doing it, so... Maybe I'm second guessing myself, but...
Firing.
We'll give it a go. But it was hitching a lot, so I feel like that starts to speak that something's going
Critical
on.
hit, Commander.
There was a lot of stuttering, at least what I was seeing on my screen. And it was doing it consistently, so... I'm just gonna have to live with it for now. I can also hear my fans going. I don't know what is going. It could be my GPU overheating. Maybe the GPU's just being worked too hard. I don't really know. Well, we'll give it a go. I'm going to keep going here. And if it looks like it calms down, then I guess that's a good sign. I'm just going to reserve here. Okay, the locust has become a target. It seems like I'm still getting hitches. So I don't know. It could just still be going on, but I'm gonna give it a chance, and then
Here goes.
if it seems to be doing it regardless, then yeah. See, that was a massive hitch right there. Like that transition, like right there. You notice how there was like a big hang up. It shouldn't do that. So again, it could be just a particular thing where like my graphics card overheated by me using it too much, something. But any chance Discord is malfunctioning? You think that might be overworking my computer? Not sure if I would be able to know that or not. I'm gonna say no on that one. It seems like it's working okay, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not being kicked out. I mean, you can tell me if you just saw a post in Discord, but as far as I know, it's working fine. All right, let's just go ahead and do the fire here. I mean, Discord, I guess, is resource intensive, but I wouldn't think it would be affecting me this much. Because I normally have Discord open. I don't know. It's just hard to tell, but I'm telling you, it was hitching a lot. And normally speaking, it does not hitch like that. And the tests we did were always short form, so it's possible that it was just a matter of overheating. Okay.
Waiting on you, Commander.
I'm gonna go ahead and just go in here and I think go with a melee strike here. Maybe not though, because that crab hasn't gone yet.
Order.
And more than likely it will attack our Vindicator. So I'm gonna move the Vindicator into a position where it'll get a decent cover. I don't know who to target at that point. I guess the spider that's close, because we can't see the locust for whatever reason.
Position confirmed.
And it might take a while for my computer to settle down too. If it was overheating, then it's gonna take time. Because it still is kind of hitching here.
Copy that. That hit something good.
Okay. It's just something Leo brought up. I don't think it has anything to do with what's going on here, but I figure we might as well test things to test things. Alright, now we can do this move a little bit more safely. I'm just kind of disappointed because our tests looked promising. And it looks like it's not going to work out. But I guess we needed a lot more long-term. Oh, well, to me, it's stuttering a lot, and I'm used to playing this game, so,
Commander?
you know. From my perspective, this is not acceptable performance.
I'm there.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the multi-target situation here. Question is, who do we knock out here? Probably the two spiders. So you're gonna be A. You're gonna be B. Like, I don't know. I mean, are you guys not seeing that? There's like a massive delay when I clicked on A and I clicked on B before it like responded. Like, that's not how it should be. That should be instant. And it should not hitch when it does that. So that is a definite performance problem if that's happening.
Gotcha.
I think it will calm down after a while, but I think I have to stop the recording, so that's what I did. Once we get out of combat and it's had time to cool down, I think it will be fine.
That hit something good.
It's just disappointing. Then again, it's hard to tell because this game is just not very well optimized in general, but I played it a lot and I know that this is not normal performance for me.